ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xbox the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is PotatoChief, and I'm with my good friend Alice. How you doing, Alice?
Hi. It's spring, so go ape.
Hype. I just had some Coca-Cola, so I'm a bit hyperactive with some sugar. Too much sugar in my veins.
Do you just like snort that?
Not cocaine, the other Coke, the legal Coke.
Well, it's usually got some like cocaine in the Coke can, so it's just like, oh, you can get some cocaine with it, and then it's just like, stupid, just get rid of it. Anyway, so
sponsored. We're not sponsored, but be awesome if we were. We're episode 42, which is the meaning of life, right? 42.
Well,
is it that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or is it 43? I think it's 42.
I would say all we can say to that is 42, and then we can end the podcast. So thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Bye. That was a short one. So yeah, last week's episode. So let's just crack on with the show. So last week's episode was our most popular episode of all time ever.
Yay!
Ooh. Because we were controversial, so let's be controversial again. PlayStation sucks. Boo.
Well,
I'm joking.
I do recommend Hogwarts Legacy, and the TV show is going to be made. Well, it's going to be made into a TV show by HBO anyway, and that is truth.
Really?
So because Warner Brothers is now going to focusing on new most popular franchises. So just like they cut lots of things out, and they decided to do Velma and the Flash movie. But I think the Flash movie is interesting, especially you get Michael Keaton's Batman back. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Where everyone hates the guy who plays the Flash, and now they've shown the trailer for it. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm excited for this film now." I'm like, "Well, make your mind up."
And then Batgirl's cancelled anyway, and instead you get something like Velma as well. It's like,
yeah, controversial TV shows. We can make a whole show.
I just watched the honest trailer for it and I didn't even go for the TV show because we already know this is crap anyway. But
I've heard it's crap.
But yeah, anyway, so the latest podcast is by far the most popular on YouTube. We don't have the analytics yet for the podcast version, but it has attracted about above 90 views for that, and it just mentions so many things. And then we released 2 videos that's based on the snippets of it. One of which is Atomic Heart, just received 20 views, but the other one, it became even more popular and talks about a subject we're pretty much trying to move away from. So just don't mention the taboo word.
Anime.
Yeah, anime.
Japanese anime. Thank you for watching the episode. If you subscribed last week and all that, we really appreciate it. If you're new here, thank you for subscribing. We're hoping to make the channel better and grow more. We're coming up with new ideas every week, and we're experimenting with it. And I hope you stick with us and give us some, feedback and stuff. That'd be fantastic. Also, today is St.Davids Day, and I am Welsh.
Happy St.Davids Day.
Yeah, basically, it's Welsh Day today, Wales Day.
Yeah.
People who don't know, the people outside the UK. St. George is is the patron patron of England. St. Patrick is Ireland. Everyone knows St. Patrick's Day, right? And then what's the Scottish one?
That's a good question. I suppose people who probably comment that answer if they ever listen to the entirety of the show. But then, that's all the point.
David's Day, so I'm feeling patriotic today. Welsh, I'm Welsh, full of proud.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
To eat half your coffee. People, you know how to speak Welsh? It's like, no, I know 2 lines in Welsh. That's it. You tree pedwar pimp quit. That's it as well.
I even have some good memories when I lived in Wales for 3 years, and that was me doing a degree. Every time it was St. George's Day at the university, I walk over and there's daffodils in pots across all the tables in the canteen because I used to go to the Altering campus. It's no longer there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's turned into flats
Yeah.
or has been demolished. But I certainly had good memories. Like you have multiple floors, and when you go in the canteen, it's like you see daffodils, and it's just like it's just treated like it's sort of a huge special day. It's a bit unfortunate where I'm at in the moment because it's really, really cloudy, so it's not a lot of sunshine. But I certainly got some like buds growing, and I got flowers in my garden, so it's pretty much positive, really. But I just yeah.
We both went to Newport. We both went to Newport University. Yeah, you were like saying about there used to be the Carleon campus, which was really nice. It looked almost like Hogwarts. It was like very old fashioned and pretty. And it looked like a proper university, like how you'd imagine it on like TV shows and stuff. And now they've only got the new building, which is in on the it's like on the riverside of
the city campus.
Newport. It's very nice to do city campus. It's like it's a modern building, how you expect modern building, lots of glass and metal and all that. But it's just like, oh, I miss Carleon. It was such a pretty campus. It was really nice, and they got rid of it, which sucks.
I could pronounce it as Carleon, actually.
Oh, and if you ever watch Sex Education on Netflix, that's where it's filmed. It was filmed there.
Really?
Yeah, the TV show Sex Education on Netflix is filmed where we used to go to university. So if you ever wanted to see that, guys, there you go. I've never watched it, but I know it's filmed there. So there you go.
That's wicked. But anyway, it's just like, I never been to the city campus, but I've been over to the Opel campus, which is, we only had a visit there, but I think back then it's like got security problems on it. Which I hope they got that fixed because it was like over 10 years ago when it was built. But now anyone who goes to the University of South Wales is now like go to either Newport or Swansea. And if you go to Newport, everything will be right in the city centre. I haven't really heard any news from there, but I think we certainly like give a episode or outside the box and talk about Newport University. But I think it's just we've got a lot of fish to fry.
Yeah, there's been a lot of upgrades since I left university. There, they've actually like added loads of stuff now. They've like revamped the whole city centre and stuff. So, they got like a cinema there and all sorts of like fancy restaurants and all sorts of that stuff. So I'm like, oh damn, I wish I was still in university there now. Oh well.
Yeah, it's because a part of Newport has already been upgraded. But the interesting thing is that, I mean, you live much closer to Newport than I am because it's just like it take about hours for me to travel over right up to Taunton or near to Bristol, and then I had to take the bridge over and get over to Newport. And it's just a bit.
It's about half-hour drive for me. Yeah, it's literally like a half-hour drive for me. I'm in Cardiff, so it's the city next over. It's like I'm Cardiff, and then Swansea's on one side, Newport's on the other side, and you literally just go down the motorway and you're there. I used to live in Newport as well for 3 years, and I loved it there. And now I work full-time in a job I hate. Yay!
Yeah. Well, I think recently, like, you'd be really, like, playing the game is just like you say letters, and you say, like, letters for this, and you obviously like done so much call center that you learned the lingo for all the letters.
Oh yeah, so we're really going off topic here a little bit, but it's fine. Well, basically, we're playing Pokemon last night, and I was telling you all the code that we were using the phonetic alphabet. So phonetic alphabet is where you go A for Alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie, and then Whiskey, Victor, all that stuff. It's something I've learned over the years because I've worked in call centers for years and years and years, and I've worked on radio and stuff. So it's just one of those things you kind of pick up over the years. So yeah.
But this
random.
This rolls into the what have you been playing? And we've been playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So
yeah, we have.
Right now, we will be discussing more of it in Out of the Box, and we'll also did a reaction to it. But
we did.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has got the DLC announced, and it will reveal new areas with new Pokemon. At the same time, we also got some extra bits like the Hisuian Zorak and some new uniform. And also, you don't have to pay the DLC for it, but there's now like Terror Raids that last until March the 12th, where you can get to catch Suicune and Thracion in, like, I think it was in the, in Terror Raids. Oh gosh, I'm lost there, but
well, it's walking. They're not called Suicune and that. There's Walking Wake or something.
Are they?
Walking Wake. What was the other one called? Like Razor Leaves or something. I think it's called. I finally caught the because I got Violet and Scarlet. So on Scarlet, I managed to catch both of them with you. And then on Violet today, I managed to catch the Walking Wake as well. So I've got both Pokemon twice. Both the rare, new legendaries, the exclusives to each game. So cool. It took me a couple of hours to do it as well, which was really frustrating because I kept trying to join like random lobbies and they kept saying, you cannot connect. And I just kept trying. And eventually I got into one. It took forever though.
So. Yeah, so that's why we worked together on this because you can get one of these based on which version you get, where on Violet, you only get to go for Iron Leaves, whereas Pokemon Scarlet is where you go for Walking Wake. But you can still get them both for one game because if you join a union or search for the raid online, you have a good chance you might get into the raid that lets you capture the Pokemon of the opposite version. Like, Violet players can still catch Walking Wake and vice versa. The only catch is that you can only get one of each, which is great because it allows you to get yourself 2 Paradox Pokemon into the one game. And I think this is really good. But I think it's just kind of funny because, the Thracion is basically a robot, and I thought they would have extra plating of armor. I don't know what's going to happen because it doesn't have a Pokedex entry on it yet. But the Walking Wake is just quite literally a dinosaur. Looks like one of those lizards that like runs across the river. In fact, the name is so on the nose because it just walks on the top of water and refers to like the surface of the lake or some sort.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're right. It looks a bit like a Velociraptor mixed with a Suicune. Suicune is like one of the most pretty Pokemon in the history of Pokemon. Like really pretty, well designed. It's like, you know, sleek and like well designed. And then this thing looks hideous, like a monster, like Velociraptor version of it. And it's like, oh, okay, I like the contrast. I like it. So Pokemon, we've both been playing that. We're not going to go too much into detail because we've got a whole Pokemon discussion coming up later this week, so that'll probably be out tomorrow, or when you're hearing this, it'll be out the day after. Usually,
absolutely,
I think. Fingers crossed. I've also just started Soul Hackers 2, which looks like one of my Japanese animes.
You need to do the short bit because you've got one short that is based on like another thing that we don't really care about, and this seems to get attention.
Yeah, but yeah, so Soul Hackers 2 is it's basically Persona, but it's sci-fi. You know, like the game starts off and you're like, you need to keep these 2 people alive so the world doesn't end. And there's like a climactic like world-ending event that's going to happen if these people die. So you got to try and keep them alive, and you're playing as a robot. Or like you're an artificial intelligence inside a human body. So they keep saying you're a supercomputer inside a grandfather clock. Is what they keep saying. That's their reference. It's fun. It's just Persona basically, but it's sci-fi. And I've heard it's shorter than Persona. That's why I kind of want to try it out. Because I like Persona 5. I've played it for hours and I'm still nowhere near it. Like, I've still got no way into it. It's like 200 hours, Persona 5. So I'm hoping that Soul Hackers 2 is a bit shorter so I can actually finish it. Got a load of achievements on it already. I've only played about 2 hours of it. It's fun. Really really worth checking out if you're into anime or JRPGs. It's a good JRPG that's just come to Game Pass this week. So thumbs up to that. Also been playing Vampire Survivors again because I can't stop myself. I'm
Yes.
addicted. I finally locked Backcountry, which is dope. I need to play Backcountry. I've just unlocked it yesterday. I literally, because I was on endless mode, I literally was on one playthrough yesterday. It was like over an hour where I was just walking around killing everything. I just couldn't die for ages. In the end, I just got bored and put the controller down and eventually died. I was too OP. Have you gone back to Vampire Survivors?
No.
No. Good game, I love Vampire Survivors.
I haven't even got back to like Atomic Heart, which is also what you've been playing as well.
I was just about to mention Atomic Heart. I like Atomic Heart. I've just got to the open world stuff. It's fun, but I don't know if I'm going to go back to it or finish it, to be perfectly honest. I would say it's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. The world, I like the setting, but the gameplay's a bit clunky, and I don't know. It's just something about it. It's not quite right. I don't know. It can get frustrating when you get spotted and you basically can't like. Like Metal Gear, like most stealth games, if you get spotted, if you hide for like 10 seconds, eventually they'll go away. But they don't seem to ever go away. It's like you need to kill everything for them to stop chasing you. It's just like that's kind of annoying. And also, there's a lot of fetch quests. Like the character goes, "Oh, you need 4 characters to get through this door," and he goes, "That's stupid. Why would I do that?" It's like just because you mentioned in the game that it's stupid doesn't make it any less stupid. It's like the character saying how shit it is, so why would it make it interesting to me? Like you need 4 characters to open a door, which is really frustrating, and then you need to go find a train ticket to get a train, and that takes forever. It's just basically lots of fetch quests, which is really annoying. Lots of backtracking.
It kind of sounds like Serious Sam in terms of like having to kill everything and goes through a lot of randomness.
It's all right. It's not. It's like BioShock Russia. Not quite as polished as BioShock. It's all right. It's just I said there's a lot of like fetch quests and stuff, and it's like, why is this here? And it almost feels like they're trying to pad the game out. So you don't have to pad the game out. You can just let it continue and go on with my thing. I'm on a really hard boss fight, and I've kind of just given up. So yeah, I haven't got back to it for about a week or like about 3 or 4 days. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to go back to it though. I think I'm kind of done with it. And Wulong's coming out next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. So which we'll talk more about in our topic of the show. Ooh.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Anyway,
what have you been playing, Alice?
I played Halo Infinite only yesterday, just to go through the community playlist, Team Snipers and bits, while listening to Red Dwarf on my music on my phone.
Nice.
And the reason I do that is because I need to get that Foxwood seal, which is the second chance I can get it during the season 2, which I can get that. And I already unlocked it in a single night. The challenges are much easier. It's quicker too, because you don't have to go into specific playstyles, and you can just complete all of them in one night because you don't have so many challenges to go through. And also you get points on completing the match. But I made sure that I completed the winter update and got a few of the best on there. The this week's shop is interesting, like the Flash Fjord, even the Vertex, the Red Armor Kit, because next week, March the 7th, Halo Infinite Season 3 is coming out.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Season 3. I love Halo. I'll probably be playing a lot of that when it comes out. I'm excited. I mean, that's our first news story. I don't know if you want to talk about Game Boy on the Nintendo Switch.
Yes,
that's also
I will.
And then we'll go into that.
Yes, because I did mostly around the Switch, and I think I got plenty of games on it, which I thought maybe it's worth getting off Game Pass because I haven't played that much Xbox. But Xbox Rewards is much better because you unlock achievements on it, and usually for every week you had to play Xbox One games to unlock achievements to get rewards. And this is really annoying because you now get more games that are exclusive to Xbox XS, which means they don't count. But now this week, it's been fixed. So you now unlock achievements. Any game released for Xbox Series X and S after 2 years, and you can still like get achievements for it, and now you can like get weekly sets done. So it's really good. I just couldn't get around to the Microsoft Awards, and it's just like I just couldn't really keep up with it. But now it just seems to be a little easier.
With Microsoft Rewards now as well. I don't know how new it is, but I only found it yesterday. You can now auto renew your Game Pass subscription through it. So normally it's 12,000 points for a month for Game Pass. You can do 10,000 points of Game Pass automatically. Comes out every month. So as long as you keep earning over 10,000 points every month on your on the Xbox points system, you can get free Game Pass essentially. So I'm going to just have that set up now, so I have free Game Pass for forever essentially. Just going to keep making sure I keep getting Microsoft Rewards and keep over the 10,000 mark. But it automatically renews for me, which is great, and that should save me about 15 quid a month, which is lovely. And yeah, so that's worth looking into, I think.
I would rather like get Xbox Gold for 3 months, because that converts into almost like 2 months worth of like Game Pass. But because I haven't been collecting so many points, I don't get to pay. End up paying for a Game Pass. So therefore, it's just like having to deal with it. But I don't know if it's something that I would like stay off it for a few months while I focus on the Switch and catch up on my projects. But I don't know. We'll just have to see about that, because I've been doing my team mostly and trying to focus on my well-being. So I really struggle to relax for the night, and I'm often working into the night. But yesterday it was just like, well, the last 2 nights is even better, because I played Pokemon with you, very good experience. Went through some raids, and it's just like really fun. And I played some Halo last night too, and it's like, wow, it's pretty good, even though I just feel pretty lonely. But anyway, as for the Game Boy Switch, I've played Game & Watch Gallery 3, which is a series of mini games, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's like modern games that's got like Mario and Luigi characters on it, and like, okay. But I kind of prefer the classic look, because it's based on the Game & Watch. You know, Mr. Game & Watch from Smash Brothers. Yeah, it just kind of works like that. But I find that the modern versions to be a bit more smooth. I've also played Warrior Land 3, where you don't get to die, but you just have to like figure everything out in order to complete the level. I really hope to like get Warrior Land 4 to come with a Game Boy Advance on the Switch, because I really have really good memories of this game, and I don't mind playing it more. It's a bit unfortunate, like Pizza Tower, which is like Warrior Land 4 in the modern times. It's coming out. It came out in like Steam. I'm still waiting for it to come to other platforms, even though it's actually made on Game Maker. So,
fingers crossed it's still coming. Yeah, I've not played it yet, but Wario Land 4 on the Game Boy Advance, I have actually played quite a lot of that game. I actually really enjoyed that back in the day. It was one of my favorites. So I'm hoping that does come to Nintendo Switch Online as well. And I'm hoping Pokemon comes to Nintendo Switch Online. That really annoyed me that we had the Pokemon Direct and they didn't announce Pokemon for it.
Yeah,
come on now.
Sucks. And now you just mentioned it, it's just like, I think it will be quite nostalgic for me to play through Pokemon Red, because I got it on the 3DS and it's just like really nice. But the big problem is that I haven't played enough of it, and I just like moved on to other pastures. But I think it's still going to be very good for the Switch, and also it's likely to have compatibility with Pokemon Stadium, and it's really good because not only you get your Pokemon over from there over to the Nintendo 64 game, but if you were to do complete challenges like beating the Gym Leader Castle like many times, you get Pokemon that you couldn't otherwise get duplicates of in the game, and I think that would be really sweet.
I would love that. I hope that happens. Fingers crossed. So yeah, we're going to move on to the news. So as you were just saying, Halo Infinite Season 3 is out on the March the 7th. I'm very excited for it. Now you've mentioned it, I need to go back and finish my winter I haven't finished the winter pass. I've been trying to like savor it. I've been trying to take my time with it. I'm level 24, I think, on my winter pass.
You're not
so
that far off, really.
Yeah, so I maybe I'll do double XP tonight and blaze through it and try and get to level 30 before the end of the night, and then I'll be ready for season 3, which I'm looking forward to.
I recommend you go for the Foxwood seal, and also while you're at it is to buy some Oreos, and well, you don't have to buy them because you get images off the internet, but try to go for the Oreo armor coating because it's very nice. I've been using it for quite a while before I got a Foxwood seal, and it's quite nice. But yeah, so also I recommend you check out Team Snipers, which is a highlight of the week, and you've got community playlist, which it's a bit random. Like you get Capture the Flag and Slayer, but you do get to play through like some of the classic maps, so it's really worth it.
Awesome. I'll definitely try that.
As for the season 3, it will cover the narrative event that continues the story left over from last year, which is about someone like getting invaded by a banished AI. And now it seems that banished AI is just like got into the person's psyche. And now it just goes into a much darker and more terrifying thing. And just could lead to an interesting storyline. But I think this... Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't me? Like, I watched the trailer for it, and it does feel very Destiny to me. It feels almost like a Destiny expansion, like this new DLC, like the stuff that they're showing. It gives me that vibes, you know. So I used to play a lot of Destiny. I should play Lightfall because that looks really good. That's like the new expansion, but I probably won't. Yeah, I just thought it looked really like Destiny. I think it's interesting. I'm excited for it. So I'm hoping season 3 is going to get people back because I think Halo's a fantastic game. I think Halo Infinite is a fantastic game, just didn't have enough content. So I'm hoping season 3 is going to be the thing that gets everyone back. Fingers crossed.
It was also a very lovely co-op experience. Like we just went through maps and killed a lot of those on like the original Destiny. I haven't played Destiny 2. I remember that it's like really fun co-op experiences. Like I even like had a clip of me like going around the map. You sat down, just have a look at the sunset. There was no audio from you, but I just like a little check this out. Very nice view. And then get on the bicycle and just push you off the cliff. And then you just died. And then you just got retaliated and got really annoyed at me because I pushed you off the cliff.
Yeah. I used to really like Destiny. I like the original Destiny. I was in the alpha test, so I managed to play that for like I literally maxed out 3 characters in the alpha test. Then I had the beta. And I did max out 3 characters in the beta because you could only have 3 characters. And then I kept having max characters until I basically one of the expansions in Destiny 2, and I've just stopped playing it since. It's because I haven't got back to it for about a year or so. I really enjoy it, but it's one of those games you need to put a load of time into, and I don't have the time. Like I used to stay up to like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night playing it, trying to unlock everything, and it's got to the point where I have a job, but I haven't really got the time to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much of an investment. But I love Destiny. I mean, that should be in our games that are coming out. Lightfall came out today or yesterday. So if you play that, I hope you guys enjoy that, Destiny fans, if anyone's listening.
It recently came out anyway. So if you enjoy Destiny 2, then you're in for a treat. But regardless, the Halo 3 Season 3, it's definitely got new awards. It's got 2 armor cores, which is Mirage and Chimera. I think the Chimera is part of a Fracture event. But it does actually cover the new weapon known as the Bandit Rifle, which is quite literally like the DMR without a magnifying scope. But I'm actually really excited for it because I like DMR. But it's also got like 3 new maps. It's got community maps as well. And it's also got a few extra bits of gameplay. Plus it has this like shroud thing, which it's like a shield, only you go through it, but it blocks everything from the inside and also from the outside, which means it could be used as the tactical advantage for like big team battle, which you can see on the trailer. So it's actually a dumb idea that's likely to work.
It's like a bubble shield, but it's also like it's like pitch black, right? So you can't see through it. So it's like, it blocks people's vision as well, which is interesting. So it's not like a normal bubble shield. It's like a bubble shield if it's covered in ink. So it looks like, anyway. I like the map they showed, which was the I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like someone's like bedroom. It's like you're playing in someone's bedroom, basically, the map. Like your like little tiny like Halo figures, basically. They showed that in the trailer. I can't remember what the map's called now. It's a community map. But it's like you're basically in the Xbox fridge fighting people and stuff, and you're like running across the keyboard and stuff like that. It looks really fun.
Yes.
It looks like Toy Story or whatever. I can't remember what the map's called, but it looks rad.
I just think they should start introducing these maps elsewhere into different playlists, because
for sure.
The playlist, which is a community playlist, was pretty much more isolated into this matchmaking playlist in the moment, because the Forge is still in the beta, which means it needs to have all those all those problems ironed out. But honestly, I think they would need to bring up some older maps, because they already introduced one of the maps of the previous Halo games. But you got like Guardian, Lockout, and I think they may have made a Sidewinder on it. But there's definitely lots of maps from the classic Halo games that has yet to go into matchmaking playlists. I mean, I would definitely have a huge thrill of doing Lockout, which is one of my favorite maps of all time in, of course, all Halo games. But they've already got a pet remake into the playlists, so it's just really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it anyway. I mean,
Same.
I got 6 days to finish my winter pass. I think I'm going to try and do that tonight when I get some chance, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. That's on my priorities. Okay, so next up in the news is State of Play. The PlayStation had State of Play. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
They talked about Suicide Squad and everyone was disappointed. And
it's apparently more of a live service, because it kind of goes into some of the kind of model as Avengers, but then it's like, well, no. For what we hoped it would be like Guardians of the Galaxy, now it's just introducing content that rolls out over time, and there's a bunch of bits there. But I just wait, for the game that's just a hack and slash thing that's made by Rocksteady, and now they're just trying to make it work like Babylon's full. So this is not really promising.
It looks like Crackdown 4, which is like a superhero shooter kind of type game.
Yeah.
I bet. Don't you have this in the draft?
Yeah, I think I do have it, which I'll just bring it up here.
It's not
yeah, you even counterpicked it against it. So, yeah. There you go. So, therefore, it's just not going to be very promising as it stands at the moment.
I'm not excited at all for Suicide Squad, but I will still be open-minded about it. Maybe it'll be good. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and then the State of Play was all VR stuff, and I couldn't give two tosses. I don't care about VR at all. Do you care about VR? I mean, it's one of the things you either love it or you hate. It's Marmite, isn't it?
And two people out of in PSN Trust has already bought it. I know a couple of friends who already ordered it. And that's even though it's £500 for something that is just a literal upgrade to PSVR, where you get the same OLED display inside it, only you have a much fancier resolution and a couple of motion controllers. But it's certainly an avenue that PlayStation certainly did take. They used to do PlayStation Move, which is the remote controls. But for Xbox, the only thing they did is brought out Kinect, and they tried to integrate it into the Xbox One. Now, we all saw how that went.
Yeah, we don't like the Kinect. I feel like the Xbox are kind of going for stream everything to everything, Game Pass, clouds, that's kind of their new thing, whereas PlayStation's more VR. That's what they basically have their own things they're aiming for. I kind of prefer the idea of being able to play Vampire Survivors on the toilet, or than playing VR. I mean, that's if I have everything good for an option. I'm not a big VR fan. I don't like sticking things to my face. I don't know. I don't like the idea of having something on my face and then people like being able to walk past and stuff, like and not being aware of what's going on around me. I don't like that. I like to know what's around me. I like to know what's in my perimeter. I don't like shutting off my senses, you know. Especially if you have headphones on and you have the VR headset on, literally anything can be going on around you. You wouldn't have a clue, and I don't like that. I found that really uncomfortable.
I literally played Resident Evil 7 once on the PSVR one.
Oh no! Oh, no.
I literally took off the goggles off a bit as I get to the scary part, and then it's just like going through that and like have to deal with it. But I just literally not only had a heart rate increase, it's just like I wasn't like really spooked off. I was like scared poopless, but then I think there was times when something that's already fed into me when I'm wearing VR, and then when one of the enemies like dug through me, it's just like it's just horror crazy.
Oh no, I'm not a fan of horror games. No, thank you. I like. Yeah, basically people who want to go in VR in horror games, I'm like, you're crazy. Like, I'm the opposite. I'm like, if I'm playing a horror games, make sure all the lights are on, make sure that there's nothing going to jump scare me.
Stream to your phone.
No, I'm not one of those people who if I'm playing a horror game, I have to have all the lights off and I got to make sure it's like atmosphere. Like, no, lights on. I'm a coward.
Stream it to Discord and switch on light mode.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. No. I mean, Resident Evil 4, I'm looking forward to, but that's about as scary as my games get. Anything scarier than that, I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. But I'm not interested in that. Oh, like Outlast and stuff. That game freaked me out. I would never play that again. Oh, or Amnesia. Yeah.
Damn. Speaking of PlayStation, Minecraft Dungeons, which is previously a Xbox exclusive, and it's also been on the PC. I think it's on the Switch too. It's now coming to PlayStation through PlayStation Plus collection of this month, I believe. So that means if you have a PlayStation 5, for example, you can get Minecraft Dungeons with your PlayStation Plus subscription.
I got PS5. I can get Minecraft Dungeons. What? No, I've completed it on Xbox already. But no, it's cool. If you've not played it, it's worth playing. It's a fun game. It's Diablo, but Minecraft.
But speaking of Diablo, we also got Baldur's Gate 3, which is it's now been announced, and it will be coming out on several platforms, including, I believe, PC as well as PlayStation 5.
Yeah, and then it's also coming to Xbox at some point. They said that they're not officially announcing it until they figure. They said that because they're a small team, they're having technical issues making the Xbox version, and they're having issues with the co-op. And they said they're not willing. They're not going to put a date on it until they know that they can release it. And then a lot of PlayStation fanboys have jumped on saying, "Oh, the Series S is the reason why it's not working." It's like, no, they're just a small team. They're just struggling to update it, which is frustrating.
It just reminds me of the early 90s and late 80s where developers, like, if they were to make games for a games console, they have to make a decision whether they go Super Nintendo or the Sega Mega Drive. And I just feel it's kind of sounds like them, except they now have, we can do Xbox or we can do PlayStation. Why not do both? Only this time, they may have a technology that might actually translate well to PlayStation. And that depends if they got their own engine to deal with. I don't know if it's in a generalized engine like Unreal Engine or a bespoke engine that they develop in-house. Do you know?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know much about Baldur's Gate, which is hilarious to me because like a lot of people are like going, "Oh, PlayStation's better because we got Baldur's Gate 3." It's like, were you ever going to play Baldur's Gate 3? Come on, be honest. And the PlayStation fanboys using it as a weapon against the Xbox fans. Yeah. Like, you weren't going to play this game. I don't understand your logic. It's the developers have come out and said that they are still working on an Xbox version. They're just having a little bit of issues with it.
It's a time exclusive, really. Yeah.
They said that they haven't got any exclusivity deal or anything with PlayStation. They're just struggling to get the Xbox version working officially, so they're still working on it. So fingers crossed.
Now, moving on. Street Fighter 6 is officially arriving in June. But expect this to be a full retail version. Like, if Resident Evil 4 comes out this month and you had to buy it as separate instead of getting it on Game Pass, then you had to be prepared for Street Fighter 6, as it will come like with a $60 or $70 price. Now, I just really hope it does not come with any ads like in Street Fighter 5, because otherwise this will be extremely awkward.
I like Street Fighter. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it though. We'll see. I had a hands-on preview of it when I went to EGX with the PlayStation guys. With the PS We Trust, we went over there. We played Street Fighter 6. They kind of kicked my ass because they're much more into their fighting games than I am. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was a really fun game. Am I going to buy it day one though? Probably not, because it's rare for me to buy a game of 70 quid now. If it's a game that I really want to play, I'll pay it 70 quid for it. But otherwise, I'll just play Game Pass usually. So I'll probably wait for it to go on sale personally. But we will see. We will see. Also, speaking of fighting games, Mortal Kombat 12 that has leaked / announced.
Well, it's actually mentioned in the physical call with someone. So yeah. Mortal Kombat 12 is coming and should be coming this year because it's been mentioned as part of a theatrical fiscal year of some sort. But anyway, we may expect hear more about it during summer, and then we get to find out what's happening. But it's really interesting because there's no Injustice, there's no like much tease DC versus Marvel, but I think it was thrown there as a joke. So it's just really interesting. This Mortal Kombat 12 is something that follows like Mortal Kombat 11, which wasn't released a long time ago. And I think it came after like Injustice 2. But I still enjoyed Mortal Kombat 11. And I think it could well be my first Mortal Kombat game that I've actually bought. And I certainly enjoyed a lot of Alfred. So yeah, it's just like really fantastic. And I'm glad that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming up over for this generation of consoles. So let's just hope that this will turn out really good. Anyway,
and I've been saying for a while that once the Activision deal's done, Xbox should buy Warner Brother games and get Mortal Kombat. That's my next on the purchase list.
Don't get your hopes up because they will probably have enough money for Hogwarts Legacy to keep going.
Oh God, don't remind me. Then the big announcement for me, I'm very excited for this. Elden Ring, yes. Shadow of the Urge Tree expansion is officially in development. I'm a bit confused because it says it's officially in development, right? Well, I thought when they announced it, they'd be like, and it's coming June. Or whatever you like. So the fact that they're saying it's in development makes me a bit worried that this is not coming out for a while. I think like December, maybe November, December, maybe even 2024. I hope it's sooner than that because Elden Ring was my personal game of the year. Spoilers if you haven't watched my game of the year video, Elden Ring, and also fantastic game. You haven't played it yet, have you?
No.
Elden Ring. It's really good. It's so good. I can't wait to play the expansion. Saying that, this year we're getting Tears of the Kingdom, we're getting Starfield. I'll be fine, I think, for my open world games for a while. But Elden Ring expansion, I'm excited for it. I just can't wait to hear more about it. We don't really know much about it. We just got a screenshot and just told that it's in development. So maybe Jeff Keighley will show it off at like Summer Game Fest. Maybe I don't know. That'll probably be. I imagine that's probably when it's going to get shown next. I'm excited for it because Elden Ring I absolutely adore Elden Ring. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Now it made it into my top 10 games of all time, like number 7. I think I put it at my all-time favorite game. Love it. Love Elden Ring. Can't wait for more. That's basically it. I just can't wait. Oh, yes, please give me Elden Ring. Then we have a Phil Spencer interview with Xbox On. Don't feel like there was much, like he said much there. I mean, it's weird because people are dragging like comments out from it, but it's literally stuff he's already said. Like PlayStation, like the woman in the interview said, "Are you going to be taking Call of Duty away from PlayStation?" It's like, no, for the millionth time, no, they're not taking it from PlayStation. For God's sake, why are we going to repeat ourselves? Basically, there's a lot of Phil Spencer repeated himself a lot. Basically, stuff that we already knew, like. They want to buy King. They want to buy Activision Blizzard King because they want mobile games, which we knew. They want to open a mobile division of Xbox, which we knew. They're gonna still provide they want Call of Duty on more platforms instead of less platforms, which we knew. PlayStation's going to get the same version of Call of Duty as everyone else, which we knew. So it wasn't really anything groundbreaking in the interview. It was a fun interview to listen to. Phil Spencer's always like, he always has really good interviews, but it wasn't anything like groundbreaking in this interview, I don't think, unless did you watch it? Have you seen the interview?
No, I haven't. And I did pick up one article which you should see on the screen. And it just basically points out the main thing that Call of Duty will no longer have console-exclusive DLC if it's owned by Microsoft. And that's according to Phil Spencer. So I think it's just Xbox really, really Microsoft really, really hopes that when they get to buy Activision, Call of Duty is protected. But I just feel that it's just really ridiculous because, like, there's been a lot of dispute and arguments, and it's mainly like headed by Sony, the European laws, and even like Google joined in because they already bought Nvidia, and it just seems like they're just going into a lot of arguments, a lot of like gatekeeping, all because that like it's all because of Call of Duty. And it's just like Call of Duty is like as if it's a most prized thing, but
crown jewels. Yeah, it's not. I feel like World of Warcraft's kind of important. Candy Crush, Diablo, Overwatch. There's other things that you should be concerned about. I think you literally all you're concerned about is Call of Duty. It seems a bit.
It's just like this is just literally like, well, how do I put it? Talking about this deal, it's like talking about everything transgender related. Only like whenever this brought up in BBC News, they talk about women's toilets and treat it as if it's the biggest thing. And I just hate those discussions because it just seems whenever anything the deal pops up, it's always be talked about Call of Duty and be the reason for the delays. And it's just so preposterous. It's just ridiculous.
I just want to get it done now. It's just getting annoying. This whole thing, to be perfectly honest. I found it really interesting at the start, but I was just like, can we stop repeating ourselves? I feel like every week it's like they have to go, yes, Call of Duty will be on PlayStation. Like, how many times do people have to say that until they get the point? It's ridiculous now. I feel like I'm going insane because it's literally the same conversations over and over and over and over again. It's literally Call of Duty. We don't want to lose Call of Duty. Yeah, okay, here you go. Here's Call of Duty deal. But we don't want to lose it. But here's the deal. We don't want to lose Call of Duty. It's like, yeah, here you go. No, we don't want it. We want it. It's like, shut up. Just take the deal. Let's just get on with it. Like,
this is just literally like them saying, like, we don't want this deal to happen. And it just seems to always bring up Call of Duty as some kind of excuse for not having this deal. I mean, it's just more like backhanded comments and everything like that. As if they just try to make it sound as if it's more legitimate. But I think it just seems as if they're not being honest to themselves and try to prevent this deal. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, we have to move on. And Shinji Mikami is leaving Tango Gameworks. And he's a designer who worked on Hi-Fi Rush. He also he worked on Pitiful Joe and Devil May Cry, two of the games that has links to Hi-Fi Rush. But he also directed the likes of Vanquish, Resident Evil, and Dino Crisis. So it's kind of sad to see him go.
And obviously The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tycoon as well.
Yes.
So it's like he's got a lot of he's got a very good prowess. He apparently he's been thinking about retiring for a while now. It's just a coincidence. He's basically got Hi-Fi Rush was a really big success. Quit while you're ahead kind of feel. That's what it seems like to me. Plus, he didn't really. He was kind of hands off with Hi-Fi Rush and Ghostwire Tycoon. There was someone else directed it. I can't remember his name now, but basically, he was more like a producer role, and he just basically he was like hands off kind of. So he's kind of been reducing his role over the years anyway. So yeah, he's just retiring, which is nice for him, I suppose. I mean, I wish I could retire. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, only like 35 at the moment.
I feel older.
Well,
but no, he seems to be doing he did a very good job. He's a very talented developer, and we hope he's happy, and he's gonna. If he's retired, then good for him. If he's gonna start another company, also good for him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say really. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a shame, but at least he gets to enjoy better pastures. But I think it's important that Hi-Fi Rush is by far the swan song of his career, so it's just really good. But I really hope like other people who worked hard on the game get to like do even more exciting projects for Xbox. Like if we get Hi-Fi Rush 2, then that would be really good. So because we certainly enjoy the heck out of it, so it's quite good.
We love Hi-Fi Rush, and I feel like they said the Hi-Fi Rush is one of the most successful Bethesda games ever, which is kind of impressive to say. So this feels like this might be like the future of Tango Gameworks. We might get a Hi-Fi Rush 2 because it was very successful and very popular. So fingers crossed. I hope so. I love Hi-Fi Rush. It's one of my favorite games of the year already, and it's fantastic.
Now, another news piece that, according to someone on the Microsoft president, he questions whether the games consoles will still exist after 10 years. Do you agree with it?
Did he already say that they think they will? I think in shape or form there will be still games consoles in 10 years. I don't think people are ready to move on yet, but I think cloud streaming is going to be like the next thing, isn't it? Once cloud streaming kind of catches up, that's going to be it, isn't it? Netflix and Spotify show that streaming services are more popular than the current thing. Like people don't really buy DVDs anymore because of Netflix, and people don't really buy music anymore because of Spotify. So like Game Pass is kind of like the next thing, isn't it? Like that's like gaming's going to be that.
Well, at the moment, you mentioned those streaming services. At the moment, they're losing subscribers, and the cost of living is to blame for it. So I don't know if the streaming services are always going to be at top, but we shall have to see, and knowing whether people would switch back to physical media and even buying it secondhand. So we'll just have to see about that.
So. I don't see people moving back to physical media. Even if they are cancelling their subscriptions, Netflix is still going to be cheaper than buying every film you want to watch on DVD or Blu-ray, you know?
I just feel Netflix is basically the last resort. It's still like the most popular service, and I just think at the moment there's a lot of streaming services that's likely to lead to a crash in those sort of things, and then eventually will recede all the way back to Netflix. But I don't know what this means for the Xbox Game Pass, but it's currently like Microsoft's key product, so I'm not going to be too surprised when they have streaming services. But I just think, especially with the ray tracing and all the stuff to improve, I still reckon we could see the next generation of consoles happening in the next 7 years.
I do think we could have consoles for another 10 years at least. But I was going to say, it's like, I feel like most things are going to be streamed. Like in Brazil, they're no longer releasing physical discs now for Xbox. It's going to be all digital in Brazil, as far as I'm aware. So like we're moving away from physical discs, I mean, the Series S is one of the most popular consoles Xbox has ever released, and that's a discless console. The PS5's got a discless version. The Switch uses cartridges, but most things are going digital. Digital sales are on an increase in digital sales are increasing rapidly. Game Pass is increasing rapidly. Services and stuff. So I feel like eventually it will just be like we're on our computers or whatever device we got, like an iPad or iPhone or whatever. We just click a Game Pass button and I got an app, and then we load it up, and that's all our games are on that. And that's how we'll play most of our games going forward. I think it's going to be like that eventually. I don't think technology is quite there yet because, as you said, games with ray tracing and stuff. Like, I don't think streaming Forza the new Forza game, Forza 7, I think it would be, or Forza 8, playing that like via the cloud is not going to be 100% consistent all the time because people's internet connections are all,
Yeah, true.
people have better internet than ever. But I feel like when global internet, when like fiber is like commonplace for everyone in the world, then I feel like we will get to a phase where consoles do start to get phased out, and we're just going to be living off or if we have a console, it might just be like a Chromecast, or like, well, they were saying they were going to make an Xbox like a streaming console. I think that would probably be the future.
Yeah,
and then just basically apps on your TV. Then eventually,
yeah, I think it's just like we're quite likely to see more of this, but I would still stand by and say like consoles are fantastic. I even hope for the console that will be like just as practical as like the Mega Drive, where it's a small console, you plug games into it and you play it straight off. And same with like PlayStation 2. So I think it's just going to be like really fantastic. But then why go for that when you already got Xbox Series S, which I was going to take it out, but I don't want to ruin the plugs in the back. But it is quite literally like almost the size of a massive dictionary. It's perfect. And I'm really impressed with the performance, where it's just like, if the 1080p is the norm and we don't go to the 4K, then these are certainly the consoles we're getting, because it just seems in a small form factor, it's just like really fantastic. Anyway, speaking of which, take a look. It's a Mandalorian Xbox, as well as like the Grogu Xbox Series S. They're currently being pretty much out as sweepstakes. So if you like go into Microsoft Awards, you can enter into sweepstakes to win either one of these consoles. And there's even a green Xbox controller that's got a Grogu hoodie as well, so it'll be quite good.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So should we move on to our topic of the show?
Yep.
Topic of the show. Topic of the show. Topic.
Oh,
we need to come up with a jingle for it.
Well, don't worry. I got it. I'm thinking of like intros for each segment, like in PS We Trust. It's just I struggled to find time for it, and I still dealing with well-being for like many months, but it'll come.
That's all good.
It'll come.
I quite like doing it like where we just basically make the subject, where I just say in random stuff like going topic of the show. I quite like doing it off the cuff.
Yeah, but anyway, it's spring now, 1st of March onwards, and we should be getting some better weather. We do have like better spots of weather when some days it will be like really cold. So the question is, what are we going to be expecting throughout spring?
I don't know. We've got some good games coming out over spring. As far as can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's happening over March where we get loads of games. So we got like Real Long and Resident Evil 4 Remake. Are those games you're actually very excited for?
I'm very excited for Wulong. I mean, I hope Wulong's good. It's in my draft.
I'll just go check it for you now because I've got a tab. Yep, you got Wulong Fallen Dynasty, and Resident 4 Remake. So
Resident Evil 4, yeah. So I've got 2 games coming out in March on my draft, which I'm really looking forward to. Wulong, this is the first Souls type game that I'm playing since Elden Ring. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it. Fingers crossed. I really enjoyed Elden Ring. And it's just like going to have the Souls type combat, and it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited for it. Resident Evil 4 is my favorite horror game of all time, and they're remastering it, remaking it in March. I'm excited, but also really nervous. As I said to you earlier, I'm a scaredy cat. I'm not very good at horror games, whereas I quite liked Resident Evil 4 because it was quite action focused. This one seems a bit more scary, so I don't know how I feel. What do you think? Are you excited for either of those games?
I haven't been thinking about it. I completed Resident Evil 4 before on the Wii, and I feel this is the best version. But I think the remake of the Resident Evil 4 is interesting, but I'm not likely to get that. And also the Wo Long, it's pretty much like a successor to like Ninja Gaiden. So I'll just see what the reviews come up. But just because it has like good scores doesn't mean I'm always going to get to play everything. So
No.
I don't know, because I'm not playing a lot of games in the moment, and I have yet to play through Metroid Prime and Atomic Heart. So therefore, I think it's unlikely that I will be playing so much games throughout many months. And I've also got a few projects that I need to get through of. So yeah, it's going to be really difficult, I have to say.
I'm gonna be trying out Wulong next week for sure. When it comes out, I'm gonna be playing that. Hoping I'm gonna enjoy it. Fingers crossed. I'm a bit nervous. I'm gonna look because like Elden Ring was the first Souls game I really got into. I played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I've played all those games, but I never got very far into them. I used to kind of get stuck and get bored. I'm worried that might happen with Wulong. I feel like Elden Ring having the open world was like a really big like a big thing for me. So I'm hoping Wulong's I'm gonna be okay with it, even though it's not open world.
Same.
We will see.
Same with like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's also open world. Even though it's buggy, but it's still fun. Yeah. But anyway, there's certainly a lot of hope in this episode. So
hopium. Drink it in. So yeah, March we got. So yeah, those are the 2 big games in March, right? Wulong and Resident Evil 4. I'm sure there's something else, but those are the only 2 we got mentioned. Then April we got
Advance Wars. We got Jedi Survivor, and we got the Benedict Fox, as well as Minecraft Legends. Minecraft Legends is a biggest game on April, so I think this is going to be a lot talked about. But as for the Benedict Fox, which you seldom talk about, are you interested in this game or some sort?
Yeah, I'll probably play it. It looks a bit like Ori, a little bit like platformer, like Metroidvania type game. I'm totally down for that. I like me some Metroidvania type games. Yeah, I think it should be good. Benedict Fox. It looks really interesting and pretty. Yeah, and I think also Dead Island 2 comes out in April as well.
Is it coming out? Because it's been delayed so much.
It's been delayed like 6 times, but yeah, let me just double check Dead Island 2.
But yeah, April is also
21st of April.
Yeah,
which I'm not looking forward to it. But hey, it's a big game. It's a AAA game coming out. So this is the start of the big games coming out in April, I think. Advance Wars is finally coming out to Switch. That's gonna be fun. Jedi Survivor, Star Wars, Dark Souls. I'm totally down for trying it again. I never finished Jedi. What was it? Fallen Order, I think it's called. Is it called Fallen Order? Never finished it. The first one. Did you ever finish? Did you play it? The original Jedi,
no.
I think it's Jedi Fallen Order. It was good. I just never finished it. The maps are a bit convoluted and stuff. I'm hoping that they fix a lot of that stuff and maybe have like quick, fast travel and stuff. That was like the main problem, is the exploring could get a bit tedious. But I'm excited to try it, and hopefully it's less buggy than the original one as well.
I didn't know that it has a lot of bugs, because all I saw about it is like a really interesting story. And it's also some really impressive platform and fighting parts. And that comes from Respawn Entertainment, who actually worked on Titanfall 2, which I found the
Yeah.
campaign to be really good. But I think it was like a few years since I last played it.
Yeah, so with I was going to say Vampire Survivors then, with Jedi Survivor, with the Jedi original one, I think it's Fallen Order. I played that on my VHS Xbox One, like the original Xbox One, the big chunky one. So that's probably why it was a bit buggy because it's like really old Xbox One. So I did play it on the Series X. I'm looking forward to trying it. As I said, I'm a convert now of the Soulsborne. I'm part of the Soulsborne people now. Elden Ring's got me in, so I'm going to try it. I'm sure I'm going to give it another go. Yeah, I'll definitely try it. I'm hoping it'll come to Game Pass sooner rather than later as well because we have EA Play. It probably be coming out if it comes to Game Pass. It'll probably come out July? Because it's usually like 3 months after it comes out. It comes to EA Play, if I remember correctly. It'll probably be like June, July that we get it. So maybe I'll hold out instead of paying £70 for it. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Should I pay £70 for Jedi Survivors, even though I'm broke?
I would rather you save your money for the new laptop.
And Zelda, which is in May.
Yeah, that's the only thing we care about in May. But anyway,
I do care about Redfall. I think Redfall looks really cool. But if it comes out at the same time as Zelda, I know Zelda's getting priority because Zelda is like,
yeah.
Legend of Zelda! Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. I'm excited. Let's go. Tears of the Kingdom.
I think this is the only thing that matters on May anyway. And I think to be honest, there's only a few games in the moment like Redfall and Suicide Squad, and it could be a quiet month, but we could expect shadow drops and everything else to come on that. So it should be, well, hopefully we might see more of it because at the moment we see a lot more releases in March, even in April. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what spring brings. Anyway, speaking of which,
yeah, go on.
How is the gaming doing winter? It started on like Christmas and it persisted throughout January and February. So
I don't know. I mean, I have more to say. May looks good. March, I don't know.
Because we certainly got some shadow drops with Metro Prime and
yes,
of course, like Hi-Fi Rush. So I think winter this year is like much better. So it's really fantastic. Brilliant. And we get to do some more experiences, plus with GoldenEye. So I think this is all going to turn out to be really superior time. And we just hope for more shadow drops throughout spring. But I think there's already too many things to expect during spring. And that includes Halo Season 3. So
yes,
how would you imagine that June's going to turn out to be, which is where the summer's going to start on the middle of June? What's your thoughts?
I'm excited for. I mean, this year is insane. We haven't even got to June yet on the list, and it's like, we're getting Zelda, we're getting Redfall, we're getting Minecraft Legends, we're getting Wulong, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivors. And that's only in the next 3 months. Like that's crazy to think how many good games are coming out. And then we got Starfield coming out in June, probably, or July, maybe, or later in the year. I don't know. Then we got Forza. There's so many good games coming out. I'm very excited. It's a very good time to be a gamer. I think 2023 might be the best year in gaming history. PlayStation have kind of gone quiet. We don't know what they're doing. It's Spider-Man, I guess. They've kind of disappeared off the face of the planet.
Well, they got PSVR, and they already announcing a bunch of virtual reality games.
Don't care about virtual. Yeah, I don't care about VR. I never have, never will. I don't think. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Literally the only reason I have a PS5 is Spider-Man 2. I'm looking forward to that, but yeah, it's a while off. I mean, Nintendo's got Zelda, Pikmin 4, Advance Wars, Octopath Traveler 2, quite a lot. And Xbox has got Minecraft Legends, Wulong, Resident Evil, Redfall, Starfield. So much good stuff this year. So much good stuff. I can't wait. Forza. Give me Forza. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm just winter was fun. I think those two shadow drops really saved January, February. I think Metroid Prime and Hi-Fi Rush really saved the beginning of the year.
And also GoldenEye as well. So I think
GoldenEye, yeah.
We just hope the spring stuff will be like even fantastic. So I think it will be great. But I am already looking forward to spring because we don't have any snow in some places, but at least we're just going to get out of the really cold winter. And now spring is going to be warmer. It has more opportunities. And it's just really fantastic. Like, we can do a lot more. And hopefully we can, like, do more walks. So I think it's unlikely I may not try all of the games mentioned in this podcast. So
touch the grass.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you have any games that you're looking forward to the most for the next 3 months, then let us know in the comments below and see how it goes. So anyway, now we just need to wrap up this podcast. So, right. So as these are the final questions I have got. Still waiting on people to come up with questions for us, which we'll override. But for this one, every question I ask will be based on the topic of the week. So, Lewis, also known as PotatoChief, what is your favorite gaming memory from spring? Like, if it's from March to May, what's your favorite gaming memory from it?
It's a random question. I don't know. March till spring. Getting the Nintendo Switch and playing Breath of the Wild.
That's a good one.
That's a nice, easy question. Yeah, getting Breath of the Wild and the Nintendo Switch. Queued up till midnight in my local game station, my local game shop. Got it home, set up the Switch, played Zelda for literally like 20 hours or something ridiculous like that. Love that game. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time, and that's why I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, that'd probably be my favorite game that released in this period of like the time of the year. This time of the year, loved it. Yeah. How about you? Do you have any positive memories of this time of year?
I did actually forgot about it, and it's like, oh, Switch came out, and it was almost a shadow drop because it was mentioned in February of the same year. But as soon as it released, it's like, oh, I just got it. And I just got like Legends of Zelda. I don't know if I got anything else with it, but it was certainly like huge. Like I got Blaster Master Zero and all those bits. Yeah. But one of the best selling points with it, with any games console, is that not only you hook it up to the TV, you can actually remove it to the dock and you use it like a handheld. And I think this is a really great innovation. And it's like
it's still it's like 5 years. It's like 5 years later or now, and it still blows my mind. The Switch does. The Switch still feels like a really new piece of technology to me. I'm like, oh my god, I can play it handheld, and I can play it on the TV. What? And I've been playing it for years, and I still feel like the idea of the Switch still kind of blows my mind. It's crazy that it's still the novelty hasn't worn off for me. I also got Bomberman X.
You mentioned about Bomberman. This is literally my first game to play that I bought for the Switch before I went on to get Breath of the Wild. But I would have to say that Breath of the Wild is really great, and it's really the best way to play the game. Yes.
Shovel Knight. They had the Shovel Knight with all the new DLC.
I bought that one too. That's awesome.
And there was like an F-Zero game, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like a F-Zero rip-off.
Oh, is it the Fast RMX?
That's it, Fast RMX, yeah. Those were the games I had at launch. Fast RMX, Shovel Knight.
For me, I think the Switch is like really fantastic, and I hope Nintendo releases a new version for it. But I would have to say, like, I always be like playing on the TV, but quite often, like, there's some other rooms in the house back then. It's like much more pleasant to go, especially I can like sit outside and enjoy. So, which is why it's very useful when you take a Switch, flip the foot of it so you can like keep it upright, and then you just disconnect one of the controllers out and you can like play it sideways. So it's always a very nice memory of like trying that with the Switch. For me,
sorry.
It's very, very hard to decide. And I was going to say about Metroid Prime, because when it came out on the GameCube, it's like I bought it in Game Shop, I played on the GameCube. It's like, wow, it's really fantastic. And it was back then when like Halo was a huge thing. And it's like, oh, wow, it's really cool. But now you mentioned the Switch, it just reminds me of the spring release. It's like, there's Nintendo DS, or there's 3DS, but I have a lot of memories of Nintendo DS, which I ended up getting more games for it. But when I got it, I got Palladium, I got Super Mario 64 DS, and I thought I was really skeptical with the double screens, but I'm just so blown away with this technology. And it's a shame that we're not getting something like that again. Like when the 3DS came out, top screen is wider, and it just doesn't feel as great as last time. Whereas the Nintendo DS is just like, wow, it's just so clean, so brilliant, and it's just so special.
With this, when you're saying about spring stuff as well, the thing with me is most my memories are summertime because my birthday's in June. So like all the games consoles I used to get them in June or either Christmas. I haven't got them for my birthday or for Christmas. I never bought them day one until like I was an adult. So like my spring, most of my memories are games coming out in June or getting a console in my birthday around June or getting a console around Christmas time. So that's why it's a bit tricky to come up with something a bit further back. I'm also going to say I really hope that Xbox comes to Switch. That's still my key dream. Game Pass on Switch. Make it happen, Nintendo / Xbox, please.
Also, I bought an Xbox 360 after waiting for it to come out in late 2005. I've only got it out in like 2006. I think I was doing Rent today, but it was certainly really interesting. I've also got the Xbox Series X out. I got it when I just managed to find the stock. Still works for me, and I recently watched Red Dwarf DVDs on it, which is great. So, yeah, useful, isn't it? But I would say that spring, I would have to say this is the best release window for new console releases because that way you buy the systems, and if it's handheld, it's even better because you get into the warmer parts of the year. So it's just like really fantastic. Now, I need to mention my favorite memory, which probably this is a question for you, but for me, the best gaming memory, now I remember it, is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons during lockdown.
That was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that too. Also, Doom came out the same day, which was hilarious. I love the fact that they both came out the same day. And I was switching between the two. The Animal Crossing lockdown, like, I wouldn't say necessarily as well, it is a positive memory, I suppose. It was like the positive thing that came out of lockdown, wasn't it? Like, lockdown was super depressing and everyone was mega depressed. And then Animal Crossing came out and it kind of brought everyone together, which was really nice. Yeah, I did enjoy that. I have my own little island and stuff. I haven't got back to Animal Crossing in like 2 years. It's all overgrown now, and all the animals are like, "Where have you been?"
Well, it's even worse because you now play it, and it's not going to be like last time because when it came out, everyone's locked down, and everyone flocked over to it, and it was a great coping mechanism. Like compared to the bleakness of the environment, you have all those pretty colors in it. You get to collect stuff. And I even interact with so many people, some of which are like strangers. And it's like a huge yearly thing. It's just like you get to go outside, build an island. And for the game that doesn't have so much combat, it's like you're basically left to build your own island. And I think that's really fantastic. So it's definitely like my favorite gaming memory. So, so
I love that.
I think if anything, on the Xbox podcast, Nintendo Switch always brings out the best memories in spring. Would you agree?
Yeah, sorry about it, Xbox fan. I mean, and we are Xbox fans primarily, but the Nintendo seem to know how to hit our nostalgia. I want to get more nostalgic with Xbox. I really do. But yeah, I was going to say like getting. I think I had oranges as my fruit. For Animal Crossing, trying to get all the types of fruit as well. It's like trying to like go, have you got this fruit? Have you got apples? Have you got bananas?
Yes,
have you got cherries? Like trying to find people with different fruits was hilarious. That game, I loved it. Yeah, that is a good memory. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good point. I mean, Elden Ring came out last year in the spring, and as I said, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Love it. Yeah, it's just a fantastic game. I just loved watching other people play it, and also playing it myself, and then like coming up with strategies and like exploring the world and discovering new stuff in that game, and then like you like in games like Halo Combat Evolved and like Fallout, they have this thing called the walkout moment, where you go to the open world for the first time and you see the open world open up around you, and it's like, whoa, like that kind of like thing. That happens like 4 or 5 times in Elden Ring. Like you'll get to an area and it's like, this map is massive. This can't be any bigger than this. And then you go a bit further and it's like, oh no, the map is bigger. And just the map keeps expanding and it's like more and more open, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I love Elden Ring. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I could Elden Ring all day.
The last question is certainly like huge, but at least we talked a lot more about spring in the past half hour. So I would say, yeah, this is a successful episode. So we've got to wrap this up. So, yeah, if you've got any good spring memories, let us know in the comments. And hopefully you have enjoyed this episode and have all the good things about it. And also, if you've got any games you look forward to in the next 3 months, then let us know too. Apart from that, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And if you're listening to the podcast services, make sure to follow us for more episodes. And it usually happens every Wednesday. Well, every Wednesday or Thursday, depending where you're at. So I don't know if you have any other comments, though.
No, that was pretty much what I was going to say. I was just going to say we're getting close to 100 subscribers. We would really appreciate if we can get to 100 subscribers before Starfield. I think that'd be a good goal. 100 subscribers before June, July, or whenever it comes out. We really appreciate that. We're really excited to keep going. If you have any ideas for outside the box episodes, because we're going to try and do some more experimental stuff. We're doing Pokemon this week, and then we don't know what we're going to do next week. Probably come up with something.
Well, we already got some ideas for the 100 subscriber video. We've got some ideas for it. And we've already got lots of ideas for April Fools. So be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. Yeah, so just so comment below. We really appreciate it if you subscribe. Just, give us some feedback. If you hate the podcast, let us know why. If you like the podcast, let us know why. Just share it with everyone and just spread the love. We really appreciate anyone who's new here, anyone who's old here. Just thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching and listening to us for this week. So until next time, take care. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.